Listen, it is the end of June, and for people that have student loans, you need to definitely pay attention because on June 31st, the IDR waiver for federal student loans is going away. This can save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars as far as paying off your student loan. So this important forgiveness program is going away. I am going to play a recap of an Instagram live that I did with Lauryn Williams of Student Loan Planner that breaks down the importance of the IDR program. And then on Thursday, I'll replay our episode from April because it was initially supposed to go away in April, but they extended it till June. So if you are one of those few people that still have lingering federal student loans left over, you don't want to miss this episode, and make sure you share it with your friends that have student loans. And I want to know in the comments if you have gotten student loan forgiveness, if you still have federal student loans, or if you are in the process of applying for forgiveness. Let me know. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and share with your friends. Rate on Apple Podcasts so more people can get exposed to this podcast. Okay, it really helps. All right, here's the recap. What's up? What's up? Happy Tuesday. I am super happy to be joined by Student Loan Planner's own Lauryn Williams. We're going to be talking about the IDR waiver. This is super duper important information if you're still paying for student loans.
Oh, hey. I know. I knew you were not going to miss it. Other people have just been like, something's different. I'm like, 15 years I had these locks and they are gone now.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. I understand. I cut off my first set, but I have to say it was my biggest regret.
Really? So far so good. I don't like this like little ugly boy phase where people are just like, but you keep trying to show them like, oh, I got some hang time. Really, it's not that short.
Your hair is long.
This is a good opportunity to grow, though. Like,
yes.
You're not as cute as you feel like, but you are only as cute as you want to act. I'm going to act cute and be okay.
That's right, but I love it. I'm here for you. Where in the world are you now?
I am in Medellin, Colombia. I moved in December. I live here now, and it is awesome. Everybody should move out of the country.
I agree. I'm trying to be right behind you. I wanna be out of this country so bad right now.
And where would you go?
You know what? Maybe Costa Rica or something. Somewhere not too far, but it's enough. They speak Spanish, so
yeah. Costa Rica is a popular destination. So.
Yeah, it's Southwest flies there. I got a lot of Southwest things like that. Anyway, Lauren, put us up on game on this IDR waiver because we talked about it like late last year about, first of all, they keep on pushing back the date for this waiver. So I know there's some new updates for those who have student loans that are looking into income-driven plans or looking to get their loans paid off. Like, what are the new updates?
All right. So the first thing is the IDR waiver is actually a waiver that is going to count payments that you have made toward an income-driven repayment plan, even if you were not on an income-driven repayment plan. So what does that mean? You might have been on the standard plan, the extended, the graduated plan. All of those are plans that you could be on for your federal student loans, but they have nothing to do with your income. They're going to say, hey, don't worry about it. You weren't on an income-driven plan, but we're going to update your payments as if you've been on one the whole time. In addition to that, there's this forbearance and deferment where you might have a lot of people like, girl, I'm not dealing with these student loans. I am not paying them. I don't care. The government can come get me. And they've just been ignoring them, putting their head in the sand for quite a while. In that case, they're also going to count forbearances if you were in forbearance for 12 months consecutively, or you were in forbearance for 36 months in aggregate. So you got to figure out how much forbearance you have because your actual non-payment could be counted as payment. So that's what the IDR waiver is. Now, piece number two to your original question was like, what's happening? When is the waiver over? It was over December the 30th or 31st. Yeah. Then they changed it and they said, oh, no, y'all get a little bit more time till April the 30th. And then there was this black hole of May and June because there's some new rules that are going to start in July. So we were like, oh, my God, what is going to happen in May and June? And then they extended it one more time. So if you have been ignoring us, this is your last chance for real, to get this IDR waiver if it's relevant to you.
So who is it relevant for again? It's people who, basically everybody who still has federal student loans, it sounds like.
That is basically it. So the main people that need to be thinking about this thing is those with FFEL loans, privately held FFEL loans. How do you know if you have that type of loans? You're the person that did not get a pause during COVID. So on March 13th of 2020, everybody who had federal student loans got a pause except for people with privately held FFEL loans. You 100% probably need, I'm gonna say 99.9%, because there's always a little something where you might not want to consolidate, but you need to be consolidating to be taking advantage of this waiver. And then in addition to that, if you've gone and gotten different degrees, so you did your undergrad, then you went to nursing school, and then you're like, no, I don't want to be a nurse anymore, I want to be a lawyer, and you went to a whole nother degree program. Now you have different repayment plans or payment periods, and if you consolidate the loans together, they're going to give you the highest amount of payment credit. So what does that mean? You got out of school, you paid on your undergrad debt for maybe 2 years, then you went and did your nursing degree in my example. So they put your loans on hold, you finished that degree, then you started to pay again, then you're like, no, never mind, I want to be a lawyer. So now you've got credit history for all these different types of loans, and the last degree that you took, in this case, the legal degree, doesn't have that much credit. If you consolidate all those loans together, you're going to get the highest amount of credit applied to all of the loans, which is a really good feature.
I love that, because when you think about like consolidation, like when you just think of consolidation across the board, you think it's going to be a median, right? They're going to average everything out and take that number. And then that's how many years or how many more payments that you have. But in these situations, no, they take the oldest loan and factor that in. For a lot of people, if they apply for this, sounds like the majority of their loans could be wiped out.
It depends on how long you've been paying, but absolutely. If you've been paying your loans for 20 or 19 years, which 20 years ago was 2004, age group wise, that's actually when I graduated college. So this could be relevant to you. And if you're pre-2004 when you started paying on your loans, then you might be past the 20 years, depending on what payment plan you're on as well is another piece of the puzzle. But there have been tons of people getting forgiveness, which is a really good point to bring up. Everybody's, oh, I want to sign up for this thing and get my forgiveness. And you don't just get forgiveness, you got to earn forgiveness. They're helping you earn forgiveness a lot faster right now, but it's not one size fits all. Everybody's not getting forgiveness, but you're getting pushed closer to the finish line for forgiveness in a lot of situations.
No, we are not related. Anyway, what does the application process look like for those who have done nothing? Like, how do they go about applying for forgiveness?
All right. This is a really good point too, because consolidation is the key piece of the puzzle. If you already have direct loans, you've only had one degree, so you only went to nursing school as an example, you finished and that's it, then you might not need to consolidate your loans. The key piece of the puzzle is, did you borrow exclusively after 2010? Because before 2010, you had what we call FFEL loans. So you could have privately held FFEL loans, or you could have Department of Education held FFEL loans. So it gets a little bit sticky on, is this right for you or not? But generally, if you've gone and gotten multiple different degrees, you need to consolidate. And if you have those FFEL loans, you need to consolidate. What do? You go on the Department of Education, so studentaid.gov. There's a button there, drop down, consolidate, takes about 10 minutes. You just follow the instructions and all your loans will be squished down into two loans. One will say direct consolidated subsidized and the other one will say direct consolidated unsubsidized. If you've already done that in the past, then there's nothing for you to do. So to your point, you don't actually sign up for the IDR waiver. You just need to sign up for consolidation to get the benefits of the IDR waiver if those benefits are relevant to you. Everybody's going to get the IDR waiver as long as they have direct loans that are held by the Department of Education.
Does it matter what loan servicer you have, like how smooth the process is, or is it just through the government? Like it doesn't matter who your loan service processor is.
Yeah, so the government is the one that is doing this thing, but to your point, once again, girl, you always ask the right questions. The servicers are a hot mess. They are a hot mess right now. So Mohila's losing his job-ish. The Department of Education is taking over the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Nelnet has stopped taking consolidations altogether. So that leaves like Ed Financial and AidVantage is like the two main servicers right now. You can still be at some other servicer, so don't panic if you're not at one of those two places, but it is actually the Department of Ed that's processing this IDR waiver. Your servicer is who you make your payment to on a monthly basis, who you call when you have a problem. They're generally unhelpful, and then they send you to studentaid.gov anyway. But it's not important which servicer you pick when you do your consolidation.
But it is going to show up on their site, like when it's paid off. Like that's who you want to look and check with to see the status of your loans, right?
Yes, and so this This is a key piece. For public service loan forgiveness, there's always been a payment tracker. So if you log into MOHELA, which is the official servicer of public service loan forgiveness, you would see you've made 27 payments of 120 payments. For all these other programs that we're talking about, they never had that.
Yes.
But they are creating it. So they said that by September, we will all see some sort of payment tracker. So you should know, because there's either 20 or 25 years, which means 240 payments or 300 payments. You have 81 payments of 300 payments is what you should see in your portal, so that it's very clear and simple for you to understand and monitor going forward. They said they're going to do it by September, but they've also said they're going to do it by July, and then they said give us an extension.
There's a lot of extending going on out here in this world.
A lot.
AMP says, once you consolidate, will they contact you about the forgiveness?
They should contact everyone, and I think that will be around September. So September-ish, look for an email, probably from your servicer. It might be directly from the Department of Education saying, hey, we've calculated your IDR adjustment. You have XYZ number of payments. Log in here and, choose your income-driven plan as an example. So they're going to give you some sort of action item. But yes, they should reach out to you when this is all said and done.
So I haven't had student loans for a long time, but I remember when I was paying off my student loans, there were like scammers out there that were saying that they would help you and do all this kind of stuff. Have you seen that recently? And if that is the case, how can people avoid not being contacted by the proper resources or knowing that they are avoid being scammed in general?
Yeah, your servicer generally is not going to do a whole lot of calling you. They're going to communicate through their portal. Just like the IRS is not going to call you. You want to make sure that it's a government organization that you're reaching out to. So you want to go directly to studentaid.gov. You want to log into Ed Financial or AidVantage or whatever your loan servicer is, and find a phone number there. Don't let somebody call you and say, hey, girl, we got a great service and a great thing that we can offer you today. The Department of Education, the government is just not like that. They're not going to be like, let me help you.
They don't have
be the best that you can be
to even do that anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically, if somebody is reaching out to you, putting in a lot of that legwork, them phone calls, it ain't the guy.
For just $99 a month, we can take care of everything. You don't want that in your life.
Somebody said, thank you for speaking regularly in an accessible language to us. It gets so confusing. I know. But that's how my platform is. I try to bring financial concepts down to everyday language, because I feel like, especially in the personal finance space, a lot of people make it confusing so that you feel like you do have to work with them. And it doesn't even have to be that hard. However, Lauryn, you do work as a consultant with Student Loan Planner. And if people did want to work with you guys to help them through this process, or just to understand their student loan repayment or what they're qualified for in general, number one, who's your demographic, your target demographic, and then how do you work with people?
100%. So at Student Loan Planner, we help people in a 60-minute consultation figure out their student loan life, because so many people are not taking this into consideration, but it really does matter in your big financial picture. So you got your home buying, you got your retirement, you have all these other things. Your student loans are something that you could be managing ineffectively and wasting money on if you don't have a plan that is personalized to you. And it is not one size fits all information. So you should not be doing what your friend is doing. That's the worst story that I ever had to experience. So somebody went to brunch with her friends. Her friend was like, girl, I'm doing this. And she did what her friend did, and she lost out on public service loan forgiveness. Get a plan in place for yourself. As Student Loan Planner, we do 60-minute consultations. You get 3 months of email support afterward, which I think actually you guys get something a little special if you sign up using this link. But what we do is help you figure out what is your specific plan for your federal student loans. I will say that a lot of people have private student loan debt, and there's not a whole lot that we can do for private student loan debt nowadays. It's basically pay it back, get a lower interest rate, refinance it. But if you have federal debt, you need to understand that you got to weigh all your options before you make a decision, because you could be making the wrong decision and costing yourself money for no good reason.
Or just pay your student loans back wrong and then lose out on $80,000 like me. So
if the shoe fits.
The consultation fee is very minimal,
right,
compared to those 5-figure losses that so there's a message from Abigail. It says, can you clarify, for multiple degrees, would that include if you got one undergrad degree and then went on to get a grad degree?
Yes. So example that I gave earlier is like you went and you got your undergrad degree. You might have rolled right into the next degree. And so maybe you didn't make any payments on the undergrad. And in that case, all of your loans are going to be at the same starting point, and you may not need to consolidate. But also, consolidation is not harming a lot of people right now. The main thing that you need to think about if you've not consolidated is whether or not you're going to lose your previous payment. So let me give you an example. During COVID, that was 2020 officially started. So you might have had a payment that was calculated based on your 2018 tax return, and 2019 rolled around and it wasn't time for you to recertify. So 2020, your recertification came. They were supposed to take your 2019 tax return, but they had already stopped paying. So the last return that they have on file for you is your 2018 taxes. We are in 2024, girl. I speak it into existence that everybody on this call is making more than they were making in 2018 in 2024. So if you consolidate, you might lose that team payment,
Right.
which could be all the way to as late as like November of next year, and now have to start paying based on your 2023 income. So that's the big consideration that you need to take in. But for the most part, the benefits of consolidating are going to outweigh even losing that payment.
Yeah. Okay, I hope you guys got all of that, okay? But then if you're still confused, that is a good reason to schedule a consultation with Student Loan Planner. And thank you, Brittany, for dropping the link for the consultation. It's studentloanplanner.com, not the Student Loan Planner, just studentloanplanner.com/financially intentional. And then you can set up a link. You can set up a consultation with Lauren or one of the other consultants there. What else, Lauren? What else do the people need to know?
Ooh. Actually, there is one other thing that's not necessarily IDR waiver related, but it's related to all the changes that are happening in the federal student loan system right now. Pay as you earn. It is one of the IDR plans. Mm-hmm. It is going away as of June 30th. Let me get it right.
Oh.
So if you are eligible for the pay as you earn plan and you don't get on it by that date, you're not going to be able to get on it. Why is that important? Pay as you earn is a 20-year plan, whereas SAVE, the new plan that everybody's all up in arms about, is a 25-year plan. 5 extra years of paying could be a lot of money going out. That could be that same $80,000 that you were talking about. Like, it could be money wasted. You need to evaluate whether or not you're eligible for the pay plan and whether it's a better plan than the SAVE plan for you. Why it might be better for you is because of that 5 years. So imagine 20 years from now, or let's say 15 years from now, you're almost getting ready to get your forgiveness because you've already been paying for 5. I could be done with these loans, or I could pay for 5 more years because I only have SAVE available. How much money are you going to be making 15 years from now? A lot more than right now, which means a higher monthly payment. So really big deal to figure out whether or not that is relevant to you before June 30th.
Okay. That's important, you guys. So make sure you get on that plan if you're eligible to get on that plan. But like, I feel like, how many people are left with student loans now? Because I feel like every time I turn around, somebody is getting their student loans forgiven in like the high 6 figures, like $100,000 here. I'm just like, wow. I'm surprised people still have loans these days. But I also just heard one of my coworkers talking about they didn't sign up yet, and they're just like lollygagging. I'm just like, listen, like, this information is here. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, something that has never happened. It's unprecedented. But the thing is, they keep on extending it so you guys can take advantage of it.
Yeah. They're trying to help you, but you got to help yourself. You could be one of those people trying to like get your head out of the sand, get it out of the clouds, wherever it is, bring it back to planet Earth, and take advantage of this because it can help a lot of people. And I know there's a lot of mistrust for the government. Yes. I know they haven't handled things right. That's why this program exists, because they're acknowledging they haven't done some things right. But this is a time to trust them and not miss out on these opportunities to get your finances together.
Okay, one more question, probably just in time. It says, I was automatically put on SAVE IDR. Does that mean that they already evaluated what I'm eligible for?
So this is an actual excellent question to end on. They are doing what they want to do over at the Department of Education, which is why I have a job as Student Loan Planner. And even now when you consolidate, you're getting to the end of it. And I might have told you as a consultant, you need to get on the pay plan. And they're saying at the end of the consolidation, we're going to put you on the best plan possible. And it's, wait, what? Guess what plan they're going to put you on? The SAVE plan, which is not the best plan possible. They're not doing any evaluation on their end to decide what is actually appropriate for you because they don't know your finances. They don't know how much money you're going to be making in the future. This is why you have to fight and advocate for yourself. Right now, we're having a lot of people send in that pay-as-you-earn payment plan via a paper application because you're not able to choose it online. It's crazy. It's basically, the loophole is going to close on June 30th, but we're going to close it right now so that y'all can't figure this out. This is why you need to do consultation, right?
Oh my goodness. There you go. There you have it. That is your prime example. Like, I love it, Laura. They're like, we're going to put you on the best plan for you. What kind of evaluation are you doing? Are you serious?
Thank you. What kind of financial education do you have over there at the Department of Education? Like,
let me tell you, when I used to call these servicers to pay more on my loan, they would be so confused. If these are the people giving you advice, honey, watch out. Like, how they default you onto a plan. That is absolutely scary. And I'm glad you asked that question because, yes, that is a prime example why you need to schedule a consultation with Student Loan Planner. Again, I'll post the link in my stories after this, but it's going to be studentloanplanner.com/financially intentional. Man, you get some perks from signing up through that link. I forgot what it is now because it's been so long. I have been an affiliate for Student Loan Planner for hella long because if I would have known what I had known when I was paying off my loans, I would have spent $80,000. So the consultation is very affordable. So go check that out. Schedule some time. Maybe you even get to talk to Lauren out in Medellin. But anyway, thank you, Lauren. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I love when we can catch up. But I hope people found value in this conversation because it's very timely. And I really think that if you haven't already, you need to immediately make sure that you get your student loan payment, get them totally paid off.
Yes. And sharing is caring. So if nothing that we said was relevant to you, somebody with student loans, because there are 44 million borrowers, call your friend and be like, girl, did you do anything with your student loans? Like, I just listened to this live and you need to just check into it.
Yeah,
do that.
Send them the live, send them the link to the consultation, and help your homies out. All right. Thanks again, Lauren. I'll holla.
Happy Tuesday.